Welcome back to Honest Muscles YouTube channel. So we're back in the kitchen today with Bruce Lee. Yeah, shit joke, but yeah, apparently I've got a reputation for looking like Bruce Lee when I tuck my white socks into my trousers, or my trousers into my socks, whatever. So what we're making today is we're going to make a sweet potato, tempeh, and whatever vegetables you like curry. There's no special like remedy or recipe when it comes to whatever vegetables I put in. I don't count the vegetables that, like in terms of macros, I don't count whatever vegetables I put in. There's some staples that I must have in every curry that I do. In terms of protein, I'll always have that, which what this is it's called tempeh. It's, from what I understand, just like a block of fermented soybeans, kind of just compressed. I don't know what the exact process is that they use to make that, and I wouldn't quote me on exactly what that is of. I know it's quite healthy. It's a healthy source of protein. It's got 19 grams per 100 of protein, and the good thing about tempeh, as opposed to any other kind of high protein plant-based source, it's because it's fermented, it's good for your gut. So that's what we like about it. So it's anything that's going to help with your gut, is going to aid with digestion. And everyone always moans that a plant-based diet can mess up your digestion. So any little bit of help you can get, especially in the beginning days if you're trying to transition, stuff like that might hopefully help. I don't know, I'm not an expert on that side of things. Luckily for me and Dave, we're Indian anyway, and we grew up on things like lentils, and this sort of stuff wasn't a shock to our body. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this. So I'm just going to start off first just by chopping up my onions. So I don't have any special technique for this, so don't pay too much attention to how we chop this up, but we're just going to go with it. I'm very used to using what's called a Thermomix, which is this bad boy here, which actually chops my vegetables up for me. So I am a little bit out of practice, but today we're not using that because most people don't have a Thermomix. Most people have the usual pots and pans or whatever. So what this is going to be is a one pot curry. So I have got obviously I've got another pot out as well to make rice to go with it. Ooh. Yeah, don't pay too much attention to my shit technique and my onions flying around everywhere. There we go. So out of practice. Yeah, I didn't want this video to be like too much editing. I kind of wanted to just, you know, show exactly how long it takes to prep, because a lot of the time when people say about how long prep can take, they're actually exaggerating how quick it can be, or they'll say, oh yeah, all you got to do is you've got like 10 minutes prep time or whatever, but actually doing that in that time sometimes isn't as they say. So at least if you can watch me do it, you can see exactly how simple this is. Yeah, of all your food rubbish, actually it'd be better to not be lazy like me and put it on the side. You should put it straight into a bowl, and then what you can do is just chuck it all straight into the, or you can just have a bin next to you and put it straight in, but we'll do it a different way. We're just lazy. Feels like ready, steady cook when you've got the camera on you.
No, that's it, isn't it?
Pressure.
Also, it doesn't have to be red onion as well. You can use white onion if that's what you prefer to. But
yeah, any onion will do the same job.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the onion ready to go. I'll also probably I'll get that ready to go as well. I'm going to stick it at the same time.
Yeah, chop the green pepper.
Because what I'm trying to do is, a lot of people what they'll do is they'll fry the onion first and then they'll chuck peppers in, and it's probably better in terms of taste, but I'll be honest, I just want to cook this as efficiently as possible. It's a meal that I just prep every time, so I'll eat this meal pretty much every day because that's the way I am. I don't really care about having all these different foods every time. So, Arlo getting starred into this video. Hello, puppy. Arlo's our little Romanian rescue dog. We've had him 2.5 weeks. Lovely boy. He's settling now a little bit, so yeah. So back to cooking. Like I say, I'm just gonna try and fry everything together. To be honest, just to make it quicker. It probably is better, like I say, taste-wise, to just, you know, saute the onions on their own first, but I can't be arsed, so I just want to get this done. I'm a man of very
Limited time.
Limited time, I guess, yeah, on a usual day. To be fair, I'm doing it today, it's actually a weekend, just to kind of demonstrate for you guys. But, yeah.
Because if it was a weekday, we wouldn't really show you the proper ways of doing it. It was just like, yeah, get it done quick. So.
Right. Sweet potato. Obviously very healthy. Is it low glycemic or high glycemic?
I
get looking at it in my head, I get whatever. Well, I'll look that up and put it on the screen. So it's also high in antioxidants as well, and taste-wise is the main reason I actually put it in, being totally honest. Tastes really good. When it softens, it goes in your curry, it just adds a load of like extra flavour. Right, Harlan? You don't like sweet potato, do you?
That's for him, but it's not for him.
I don't know what he's eyeing at. So yeah, sweet potato, if you don't add this, or what you could do is add carrots. Carrots would go really well, but sweet potato is the one for me.
And again, if you don't like sweet potato, you can just put normal potato, white potato in, can't you? So.
Yeah, white potato's good too. It's just, I don't know what, I've got an obsession about sweet potato. But if I don't put the sweet potato in, I'll notice it. Like, taste-wise, the actual curry, like the flavour of the curry, it tastes a bit bland to me now. But it could just be because I'm so used to it.
Yeah, so someone who doesn't eat our diet, they'll think, oh wow, this tastes fucking amazing. And then when they start eating it, they're like, oh, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, that's true actually. The first time if you were to make this, you'd be like, this is really good food. Ooh. But for the average person, you'll probably get bored. So you just need to take this as like an idea to have every now and then. For me, I'm totally fine to eat this every day because I can eat like a robot. Like I literally look at food as just fuel. So more than okay.
That's why I can just eat the same thing mostly, as long as it's following macronutrients. I'm growing, I'm getting my energy for the gym. That's all that matters to me.
But yeah, we want to try and do maybe a few other ideas as well, things you can do. But this is my staple that I've been on for quite a while now. There we go, basketball practice.
No.
I even did a classic physique competition, and when I prepped for that, I kept this curry in the whole time, except all I was doing to bring my calories down was I was modifying it, so I was taking things out, certain ingredients. So by the end of it, sadly for me, I had to take the whole fucking sweet potato out in the last like month or so. But yeah, I'm that like what do you call it? Fixed with my routine. Like I just don't like to change what I eat. Right, I do put a little bit of oil, so I know Dave doesn't in his curry, but I do. Just speeds things up a little bit, and well, actually, it doesn't actually. It doesn't really.
I mean, for me personally, I believe that people use it does help with flavour, but it's more so to stop the food from sticking and burning the pan to a lot of people as well. Like,
but if you look, that's all I put, and that is going to last me over 4 meals. Like that's not terrible.
No, I mean like it's spread over the days, isn't it?
So yeah, 4 meals to me, that means it'll last me 2 days because I'll eat this twice a day as well. So yeah, I am a little bit of a robot. I'll eat the same lunch as I do in the afternoon, in the evening too after the gym, which is this. So anyway, once that's heated up, I'm going to slot that in there. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly mix my spices in. So this is my only one that's labelled, but this is turmeric powder. So what I do is I usually go with about half a teaspoon of that.
Chili powder. They want to see what colour.
It's that bright yellow shit, so don't get it on your hands, it like stains you and makes you look like you got cheesy fingers as a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
This chili powder is quite strong, so I actually only do half of that as well. But obviously, if you're a man who likes to burn your mouth off and cry when you eat your food and sweat, put as much chili as you want.
Or if you can just take a lot of chili and then you can put more if you want, but you don't need to. Yeah. You don't want overpowering chili flavour.
Then we go coriander powder, so I go 3 of these.
So you said how much chili did you say? Half? And
I go with half, yeah, I can't be asked with it being really, really hot. And then this is cumin powder. So this is quite a strong flavour as well, so I treat it a bit like cumin and chili. I treat it a bit like turmeric and the chili, so that's half a teaspoon of that as well. Then what I do is I usually go with like a generic like blend of like herbs. So like today I'm going to go with a jerk seasoning by Dunn's River. They also do like all-purpose seasoning as well, which works the same. So if I wanted to change my flavour up a little bit, all I do is get like a similar type of brand, but just like a different flavour, and I treat the same. So I always go 3 teaspoons of this stuff. But yeah, just changing that out can change your flavour quite a bit with very little effort. Obviously it's the same thing, same process. So then just swirl that around a bit. Just gonna mix up nicely. Then I've got 2 stock cubes, which is this. That's what I go for.
There you go. This is it. The glare was just showing. There you go.
Cool. Stick that back.
Look at you working it.
So the missus just came home and the dog started barking. When she came in, she asked me to put the washing machine on and spin it, and I forgot how loud the washing machine can be. So I continued recording and didn't realise it was so annoying, and I can't put you guys through that, so I'm just going to quickly talk about what I was doing here. So all I did was quickly just add in my stock cube to the spices mix. So yeah, now I'm just adding in my vegetables. I'm going to saute that now that the oil is heated up. So now just adding in some chopped celery. I don't normally do this, but my missus chopped up some celery and some green beans a few days before. So she just told me if I want to use any of it, just add it into my curries or whatever I'm going to be making. So yeah, I just felt like I'd just chuck some of that in. Celery, when you fry it, does actually add a really nice flavour into your curry. And the calories is almost like negative calories, which is what we were trying to explain in the video. But with the washing machine about to take off, you really don't want to be hearing that. So here, whilst I'm stirring away, I'm just probably ranting on about how you can add any old vegetables into your curry. Doesn't really matter which ones you add, just go with what you like to eat. End of the day, when it comes to bulking, you need to be eating things that you like the taste of, because you got to eat so much of it. If you don't, you know, it's going to be so hard to put those calories in. And at the end of the day, it's a bit like training. If you've got a program you don't like, you're not going to adhere to it simply because, you know, it's just something that you need to be able to enjoy every time and look forward to. So anyway, now I think at this point I realised I hadn't washed the kidney beans yet. So kidney beans is I had 1 can of kidney beans to my curry. So I need to quickly wash those before I put those in. I also needed to wash my brown rice. So what I ended up doing at this point, if I remember rightly, is I went to weigh out my brown rice first before sorting out the kidney beans. Only because the brown rice takes about 25 minutes to cook, so it makes sense to get the rice cooking in the background before, you know, sorting out the beans and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just weighing that out. I weigh out about 300 odd grams of rice. So what we were also saying in the video is you don't necessarily have to weigh everything out exactly to the gram. It does help definitely to not cause any food waste and that, and obviously to make sure you're eating enough and not underdoing it. But when you're bulking, just make sure you're eating enough. You know, like you need to be feeling full each meal. And the weighing scale is just going to make sure of it. That's why I always use it. But if you're just someone who's trying to, you know, just get a bit bigger and you're not taking it that serious, you don't need to be weighing everything exactly. Just go with what you want to have. So I did want to initially leave this video quite unedited and quite raw so that you could see exactly how long things take. But as with the situation with the washing machine, you know, just kind of taking advantage of that now and speeding this up just a little bit for you. I know it's not the most exciting thing to be watching someone wash some rice. So at this point, what I'm doing now is I had a kettle of water already pre-boiled. So I'm just pouring that over the top. And the way I cook rice, I usually just cover it all by a good amount, just to make sure that by the end of the 25 minutes, there's still water left in it. I just want it completely covered and boiling the whole time. And when it's done, I just strain it and then I'll give it a quick rinse under the tap whilst it's in the sieve as well. Now I'm just adding the pot to the hob. I'm going to bring it to the boil, so I'll put it on the max heat. Once it's been brought to the boil, I'm going to time 25 minutes. Brown rice does take longer than white rice, so if you want to speed this up even more, you can just make white rice. Again, the reason I didn't is because I didn't have any white rice or white pasta, which is my usual go-to. So yeah, I'm going to get that going in the background, and then the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to rinse the beans. Whilst I was rinsing my beans, I was having a bit of a rant about the first time when I went vegan, and I made a meal prep with some beans in it. The meal I made was quite heavily bean based, and I didn't rinse my beans properly at all. In fact, I didn't rinse it, I just chucked the can straight in my food. And then when I was at work the next day, sat at my desk, I used to wonder why my belly was making noises and why I needed to fucking shit my ass off, basically. I knew my colleagues knew that something was up. You could hear it, it was so loud. So, long story short, rinse your beans, otherwise your ass is going to pay for it later on. Remember in between to give your pot an occasional stir. Anyway, so now I'd forgotten again to do something, which was chop up my tempeh. When I was trying to record and get all this done and, you know, talk to the camera at the same time, I found I was getting really sidetracked and forgetting what I was doing. So yeah, anyway, it didn't matter too much at all, so I just chopped it all up now, and then I chucked it in the pot. Started frying it along with all the spices, and then we're almost there actually when it comes to doing the prep side of it. After that, it's just going to be a case, you know, leaving it and bringing it to the boil once everything's added. We will still need to add in the chopped tomatoes as well. Another thing I forgot to add was these green beans that my missus chopped up a few days ago. I mentioned earlier on. So yeah, let's get these added in. Gonna give it one final fry, and then we added in the spices. Once you add in the spices, you just mix it around for a bit whilst you fry it. Once you're happy that the flavor's gone around the whole pot, then you can add in your chopped tomatoes and then top up with a bit of water as well to the level you'd want it. So if you want your meal to be a bit more soup-like, you know, you can add more water. If you want it to be a little bit more like a paste, just put less water. So at this point, it's just going to be personal preference. Something we preach when we do meal prepping as well is washing as you go, because if you don't, you just end up having a big pile of crap you need to wash up all at the end. So when you do something like a curry where you have to, you know, often leave the pot to just cook, rather than just waste time, you know, either staring at it or going sitting down and scrolling on your phone, just try and wash anything you can in between so that by the end of it, there's very little washing up, if any. Usually by the end, it would just be a case of just washing up the pot that you cooked in once you've emptied it across your tubs. We're now happy that we've fried these vegetables all enough, so it's time to add in the spices. Shortly after this, we'll be ready to add in those chopped tomatoes as well. At this point, I just grabbed out my 4 tubs that I'm going to serve up into after it's all cooked, just so it's there ready on hand. Chopped tomatoes now going in. As you can see, I've made an absolute mess of that. Don't know how, but I managed to splash it across the side of the cooker. So when you do stuff like that, just try and wash it off quickly, otherwise it'll start burning and obviously it'll just start to smell. And if you don't wash stuff like that quickly as well, just become a pain in the ass when you need to clean it off later on, because it would have all dried and potentially burnt into the hob as well. So yeah, any messes you make like that, just get rid of it as soon as you can. Now that the chopped tomatoes are mixed in nicely, just going to chuck in those kidney beans, and then we can top it up with some water once we've mixed that all around. And now the washing machine has finished doing its cycle, so we can now jump back into the video as planned.
A can of water. That's half a can of water. If I need any more, I'm just going to top it up as I go now. But just remember, when you put water in, if you overdo it,
It will kill the flavour.
yeah, and it'll be a little bit too soupy. So it's better to just add more if you need. Right, I've made a bit of a smell now because I missed the pot. I turned the whatever I spilled. Just quickly wash that.
Oh man, it's just, when it gets hot in here, I do need to sneeze.
Probably the chili powder as well. Chili powder makes me sneeze. Tell you what, hopefully I can find the lid for this pot. That would help me speed this up a little bit. Oh, that's the right one. Yeah, love that. Right, so that's pretty much all the bullshit done. So
Yeah, the
I'm
hard
just going to
part's
leave
done,
that now to just cook for pretty much, I guess, the duration of what's left on my rice.
So about, what, 12 minutes left?
Yeah, there's 12 minutes left on my timer. Thinking about it, let me just quickly check the sweet potato. So because I've got potato in there, I usually almost as well go by how the potato's feeling to tell me how long I need to cook it.
Push a fork in if it's really tough.
So like that's still like, it's like half cooked. So I don't want to. I reckon. I
an
reckon
extra
12 minutes. That might be
5 to
done.
10 minutes I would. Yeah.
12 minutes. That should be soft. So stick that lid on. Maybe we'll do it that way. Leave it slightly ajar. Leave that out actually. Prod at the potato. So the potato is basically going to be the indicator now when it's cooked. Like I said, when that rice is done,
I'd like to think that'll be done too. So, yeah. Right. I was paying so little attention that I started eating my last meal, which isn't part of this prep. I've already prepped, so I'm prepping in advance. My timer's gone off, but I did just check the potato a few minutes ago. Don't know if it's done. Actually, it kind of is. I think it's acceptable.
You can still
It's all right.
eat one bit and see, you know, if you really wanted to be on the safe side.
You know, actually, it is done. It's done. Cool. So you want it to just like, it shouldn't be too much effort. It should just slide through. So it's going through now, so it's nice. And I haven't had to like, you know, crack it against the side. So that's sweet. That's now done. That also looks done and it's going nuts. So what I'm going to do is strain my brown rice. Brown rice is probably going to be quite annoying to strain because there's quite a lot of it. But use a sieve like that. Don't use the same one that I used earlier for the beans because it'll just go straight through the holes. I'm actually going to rinse that a little bit, so you can, fucking hell, you can rinse it a bit further as well if I think like just get any further crap off of it. Because I'm not eating this rice now anyway, so I don't really care about it being really hot. Right, so it's only had rice water in it. Give that a couple shakes. So if you lose a few to the sink, who cares? We'll chuck that in there now. Cool. So what I'm going to do is split that across. I've turned the heat off and all that. It's just literally casually boiling now. Like a nice spoon. So I serve it the rice first. Split that across 4 tabs. So, anyway, that's my curry ready to go. The only last touch I need to do is find my salt.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that. So this is, I just got sea salt, just a few grinds. We're running low on that, but I can't be bothered to refill it, so we're going to go with whatever's in there. Remember that looked like a lot of salt, but that's going across 4 meals, and it's going to be quite big meals, so not actually bad as it looks. And salt's not even that fucking bad for you. I think like the worst thing it's probably going to do is dehydrate you, but drink some water then.
Yeah, and that's it. Get your water out, and then you don't have to worry.
Salt helps with pumps as well, apparently. Right. So you'll notice as well now, I'm not like fishing out certain amounts of tempeh to make sure the protein's split evenly across each one. I don't really care because overall you're still going to eat it all. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter exactly when you ate how much protein in a day. Just eat it. Eat it whenever.
Because throughout the course of those 2 days, you're gonna get the exact same amount throughout the whole bit.
And even you can take that further and think about how much you're going to eat over the week. That's what really matters, is how consistently you get your calories and your protein goals in over the whole week. Not over a day and by the hour, do you know what I mean? Like, if you get obsessed with the minor details, that is when you'll crumble because you'll get so stressed about pointless shit. Like, honestly, like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it so stressed about. Again, realities of prep. We're cleaning first. So I've served it all there now, it's all like steaming hot. Clean the shit now because once it's done, you don't have to like come back to it later on to like a messy kitchen and think, oh shit, I've got to get rid of all that crap.
Yeah.
Just get it done now. Like,
or if you're someone who like lives with roommates or something like that.
Yeah,
or even if it's your partner, like come back to it like, what the fuck's this shit?
Yeah.
Like to deal with.
yeah, if you love your partner, I'm probably going to get it in the net when my missus watches this because I maybe don't always clean it straight away, but most of the time I do. If you love your partner, clean it straight away. Like you said, and like Dave said, if you were like at uni or something, you've got flatmates, just don't be a dick, man. Like if you've got like cook all your food, don't trash the kitchen. Get rid of your crap. And the longer you leave it, you always know it's fucking more annoying to do. It just goes all hard and crusty, and then you have to soak it all. like everything's warm now, so it's like quick to just quickly rinse it all. Right, yeah, that took fucking ages. Made me really tired, that.
But in actuality, it didn't really take like an hour.
I'm joking, it didn't take that long, it really didn't. So, and actually how much I have to do there really wasn't that much, and that's food that's going to last me 2 days. And if you wanted to, you could make it last you longer, you could just like, you know, double the proportions. But I just prefer to do it this way because I like to eat fresher food. I don't know why, I just can't be asked to be eating food that I know I made 4 days ago. You can do it, but in my opinion, I can taste that I made it 4 days ago.
I agree with you on that one, but if you're someone like me, because I do a lot of hours on my work, I start early, I finish really late. Someone like me, I would need to do a bigger prep than that. So obviously I will do that when I did my video. Just so you get the idea like of a trucker's life.
Yeah.
Meal prep, the bodybuilding trucker is meal prep for the week.
That's what you do.
That's what I'll be doing. Joe's not a trucker.
I'm not a trucker, I got off the job.
I'm the trucker.
So, right, just quickly wipe all the shit up. Right, so kitchen's still pretty clean. That's not part of it, that's what I was just eating whilst I was waiting for everything to cook. But that's 4 meals. So like I said, 4 meals for me is going to last 2 days. That's because I do lunchtime, I'll eat one of these, and then post-workout I'll eat one of these. Obviously that's not everything in a day, so we'll probably do at some point everything I eat in a day. But when I do that, you'll see this is already in the fridge because prep, that's the point. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd say that took about, I feel like it took 35-40 minutes.
35-40 minutes, maybe 45 at a push.
Yeah, maybe 45 at a push, yeah. But considering that's meals cooked, kitchen's been cleaned at the same time.
You've not wasted any time, basically, just wait like, you know.
Yeah, if you cook it all and you go away, like watch something on your phone and then come back, it's like you're dragging out the process of meal prep. And just meal prep ain't fun, but it's one of those things that if you just get it done, it's done. Like, don't procrastinate, just fucking do it. So yeah, that's it. That's my sweet potato. Look at that. It's the same thing. This is exactly the same thing actually. It's just that this has got pasta in it because I'd usually go with white pasta or white rice. So that's how I'd normally make it. Is I've touched it out of the fridge and I was eating it. And I normally also, I wouldn't suggest stopping eating your food to do a video, but I did it for you guys. Because I've got such a massive following and I don't want to disappoint you guys. Anyway, yeah, so I wouldn't, in all seriousness, I wouldn't stop eating. Normally you should, when you're eating, you should eat consistently, because if you stop and start eating, it disturbs your digestion and then you can get bloated and all that crap. Anyway, that's that. Different topic. And I will talk about that in a certain video because that is a massive topic. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked this type of video, give us a like, subscribe, and comment as well what you think. Let me know. Let me know if you actually can be bothered to try it. It's actually not that hard, and like I said as well, with a curry, you can tweak stuff as well. So the things you could tweak that you didn't like, you can tweak the curry powders if you want. If you don't like jerk seasoning, put something else. And the other thing you can do is just change the vegetables you want. A lot of people actually don't like sweet potato. It blows my mind because I love it, but some people don't like sweet potato, go with white potato. Or don't use potato, you know, just take it out. You still get carbs from the rice. You don't need to be eating exactly how I do it. This is just how I do it. There's more than one way.
It just makes it nicer, doesn't it, really?
For me,
as a bonus.
Personal taste, isn't it? So, yeah, thanks for watching. As I said, like, comment, subscribe, all that crap. Do whatever you can to support the channel if you liked it.